Hey, Johnnie Roberts, we're back for another great episode of your podcast, Retired at New Heights. How are you, sir?
I'm stuffed, man. How are you? Day after
Yeah, I'm the
Thanksgiving?
same way. We should be out Black Friday shopping, right?
No way. That ended for me. I usually just let my wife do it, and then I'll go with her a little bit, but then we meet up usually at Olive Garden or something like that Friday
Oh
night. That's
yeah,
the best part, you know what I mean? Which we need to
that
have
is.
after Thanksgiving dinner, right? Some
Oh
kind of
yeah, more food. That's
celebration.
exactly what we need. Well,
Horrible,
I hope you
but
had a great Thanksgiving celebration, brother.
we did, man, and now it's Christmas is on. Here we come.
It is. It's gonna be here before we know it. But lots of things going on, and buckets of money is what's on my mind as I thought about Thanksgiving and Christmas with packages and what are those things called on the Thanksgiving table? They got some big on it, cornucopias or something, just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
buckets and buckets of food. But we're talking about buckets and buckets of money because that's what people are coming into retirement as they start thinking about retirement, meeting with you. They've got buckets of money in different places, and they're not sure what to do with it. They don't understand the tax effects. I know you got a new website that can help that. So I want you to talk a little bit about that as we lean in towards the end of the year because a lot of people are thinking about taxes and different things in the end of the year. So how can people start doing some end of year planning even now?
Yeah, this is a huge issue that we've been dealing with all this years. Obviously, we had the election, possible tax changes, and who knows what's going to happen still with all that kind of thing. But we're in Christmas time now. Money's on people's mind. We're going to spend a lot of it. A lot of people, unfortunately, going to put up a lot of credit card debt and all kind of thing. So we've got money's on our mind, and taxes and buckets of money still need to be on our mind, especially if we're getting close to retirement age or we're retired, that kind of thing. That's got to be on your mind as well, right? It should be on your mind all
Yeah.
the time. That plan you have, because remember that retirement's going to take up 25% of your life, could be 30% depending on how long you live. It's going to
All
be a
right.
retirement time period, 30 years, 25 years, who knows? But the point of it is we've got to have wisdom with our money. Where's it at? What's it specified for? And tax planning and that kind of thing should be a major part of our retirement. Well, we talked about taxes in the past, but we have this awesome new tool you can go to. It's called mytaxreport.net. So if you were to type that in right now or after we're done, you go in there and it's going to ask you for your name. It's going to ask you what do you have in your IRA or tax deferred accounts, 401ks, 403bs, or anything that's
Mm-hmm.
tax deferred. Even if you
Mm-hmm.
roll it over into a brokerage account, an annuity or whatever, it's still tax deferred, right? You type it
Mm-hmm.
in there, hit submit, it's going to give you a tax report. It's literally going to show you, hey, this is what your taxes are going to be to you, beneficiaries, based on averages and that kind of thing with growth and the market and all that kind of stuff. So it uses averages. So, and then it's going to show you if you make some changes, this is what your tax savings could be. So I've seen them before where someone's going to have to pay $260,000 in taxes, but with just making a few changes, now their taxes will only be like 80,000. Man,
Wow.
is that a
Yeah,
raise that you'd like to have?
absolutely.
Absolutely. Is that going to help you cover inflation? Absolutely. And what you're doing is we're all in bed. If you have all the money, you got taxable money, that's income, money you might have in CDs or investments that's already been taxed now, but you're going to be taxed now on the growth or Social
Yeah.
Security. The middle bucket is all tax deferred. And the third bucket on this side is tax-free money, never taxed again, no matter what. So
Mm-hmm.
if all your money's in that middle bucket, guess what? You got a business partner.
That's right.
That business partner is called Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam owns about 30% of your business.
Yeah.
And he's going to get it. No matter if you die, how long you live, he's going to get that from you. So we try to teach people, how do I get rid of this business partner? Can I
Mm-hmm.
can I get rid of
Yeah.
this guy and kick him out of my business? Now this is
Yeah.
my money. I don't want him to be, even if I can get him down to 10% ownership or 5% or something, or no more ownership. Man, you're in bed with him.
Yeah.
You're in business with him rest of your life unless you make some changes and begin to put it in this third bucket. So that website will give you an idea like,
Mm.
holy cow, man, Uncle Sam is getting that much of my money.
Right.
I'm going to pay this guy 200 some odd $1,000 over the course of the next 20, 25 years, or my family's going to have to if I die. I mean, who'd want to do that?
That's right.
I mean, common sense says absolutely not, because we
That's
all
right.
have those tools and resources now we can teach people to be like, Hey, get rid of this business partner, man. Get some money in that
That's
third
right.
bucket. Instead
That's
of paying
right.
a quarter million of taxes to him, you pay him off for 70, 75,000 and be done with him. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? And we can
Y-
do that now. People don't even realize it because once again, they're focused on names of products or this or that.
Yeah.
But problem solvers, solutions to get rid of your silent business partner is needs to be a big part of retirement planning.
That's right. We want to keep the money in the family, and Uncle Sam's not part of my family, really. He tries to weasel his way into our families by calling himself Uncle. But yeah,
Right.
we want to give him as little as possible. We want to give him some of that chicken bacon that we talked about
That's right, man.
on the
Did you have
last
chicken? Did you
episode.
have any chicken bacon for
I did
Thanksgiving?
not have any chicken bacon, man. No,
I
thank you. I
didn't.
am scared of chicken bacon. Um,
Absolutely. And
but yeah, it's understanding that there are ways to um, mitigate taxes, and it's totally legal. I mean, the wealthy
legal.
of America have been doing it for years, and people say, "Well, why don't I do it?" Well, it's because you get hung up on old names and things of that nature. But this new website, mytaxreport.net, is where you need to go as soon as you're done listening with this podcast, or just pause it, go now and come back. Mytaxreport.net, and in just like 3 or 4 minutes, you're going to be able to see the tax savings that Johnny is going to be able to bring to you. But and it is part of your retirement blueprint that you help people put together, right? This is just one more piece of the puzzle, right?
Yeah, we're excited about this. This is started this a couple a couple months ago or whatever. So we're advertising it and we put it out to clients and people that we're trying to work with so they know and they're kind of sharing it with people. It's been really successful, but um the the point of it once again is to see what your problem is, see what the solution could be. And then there's a link on there you can just click on and you pick a time you would like me to call you, send have a 15-minute conversation. Just a phone call initially. Man, because I'll get a copy of that tax report. We'll look at it together and we'll see if there's what the solution would be for you.
Mm-hmm.
And change is always hard for people because we're zeroed in on this, you
Yes.
know, but change usually in a positive sense can help us feel better, be more healthy, be wiser financially. Once again, get rid of the silent business partner that we don't want to be
Yeah.
in business. We've been in business with him for 40 years working,
Yeah.
right? Now we want to try to uh, get rid of him for the next 20, 25 years. It
Right.
just makes sense. And maybe you're dealing with a financial person right now, and most people, that's not brought up to them. Because once again,
Right.
it's all about the money, but money does not equal retirement. It's
Right.
not a solution, it's a tool. And then within that money, you got to figure out what I'm going to do with this.
That's
Once
right.
again, I don't own all this money, you know, I don't
Right.
own it
Well,
all.
and if there's a way to pay off your silent business partner, you will actually gain a chunk of what I would call free money. Because if I was going to have to pay $250,000 in taxes, but there's a way to mitigate that down and get rid of it for 30,000, I just gained a lot of money that stays in my family. It's part of my retirement plan, and that's just how I think of things, because I like to keep things really simple, Johnny. I'm not as smart as you are. So I've got to keep things really simple, but I'd rather keep the money in my family than let it go to Uncle Sam. If there's an ethical, legal way to do it, which there is, many of them, and it's all part of the toolkit, the retirement toolkit that you have access to. It was like years ago, Johnny. I was a car mechanic years ago, and I was struggling with some piece of a brake system on a car. And I mean, I was just working. I was young and didn't know a thing. And this older guy who'd been doing mechanic work for a long time, he walks over to me and puts this little tool on whatever I was working on and twist it and just made it work. And I looked at him. I'm like, "Where'd you get that tool?" Right?
Hmm.
It was the tool that made all the difference. And just like in planning retirement, it's the tool that makes the difference. And no matter how much money you've saved or what buckets it's in, if you don't have the right tool, it's going to be harder in retirement. Johnny's got a big toolbox, and not every tool in that toolbox is going to work for you, but you won't know until you talk with Johnny. And I'd say before you schedule that appointment, you need to go to this new website. What's that website again? That new one?
mytaxreport.net. Go on that
My,
website.
there you go. Mytaxreport.net. Go there, spend 3 to 5 minutes, get the report, have that 15-minute call with Johnny, and talk about creating a retirement blueprint. What's going on here, Johnny? How can you help me and see if it's a good fit and see if there's a next step that you should take and start? Is that kind of what people should do, Johnny?
Absolutely. It's just once again having a conversation, figuring out, you do like you said, Mike. I mean, we can watch YouTubes and try to be do it
Oh yeah,
yourselfers, which is cool, and I've done a lot of that. But
yeah,
what you'll find interestingly is these guys that do that, they got all the right tools, man.
they do.
But I just got the wrench and the screwdriver set, maybe a drill or whatever. So I still got to go to Home Depot to buy that tool. You know what I mean? That
Yep.
makes the job easier. That's what they generally show you, right? Is
Oh
like
yeah.
this tool here makes it so much easier to accomplish this. Now we
Yes.
didn't know that unless we would have watched this YouTube video or whatever it may be. So it's just educating yourself. And we don't
Yeah.
charge any fees for any of this kind of stuff. Just conversating with people, trying to put people in a better position. So mytaxreport.net, click on there. It'll take you to a link where you can set up a time to talk to us for 15, 20 minutes or whatever. We've got tax specialists. We work with Heather and all that type of thing with Social Security planning as well, investments and all this kind of stuff. But the bottom line is, let's see what you got going on here. See if we can figure out where all this money is in your buckets. And sometimes you just got to, take some money out of one bucket and put in another one. It's still your
Right.
money. And like you said, man, you're giving yourself a raise.
Yep.
You're
Absolutely.
giving yourself because you were expecting to pay. Well, maybe you weren't expecting, but you were going to pay $250,000 in taxes.
Right.
You didn't really realize it because you don't, you haven't
We
looked
don't
at
think that
that.
way.
Don't
That's
think
right.
that way. I got all this money, but if once again you can only pay I'm just using this example, $75,000 in taxes. Man, that is a huge raise you've given yourself over the course of 20 years.
That's right.
You
No,
know
I
what I
love it.
mean? So,
mytaxreport.net is where you need to go. Just go there right now. mytaxreport.net. Spend 3 to 5 minutes, put in that information, get the report, have a call with Johnny, and take it to the next level and retire at new heights by having a conversation with Johnny. But before you do that, mytaxreport.net is probably the best next step for you. So, Johnny, I'm excited about that. I'm sure we'll talk about that some more in the upcoming episodes. And I hope that you recover from Thanksgiving, get some rest, start your exercise plan now instead of January 1st. And we'll
that's
talk to you
right.
soon, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you very much, Mike.